Thanks for being on. Jeez.
So we'll chat up about Scoop Fest and let your listeners know what the event is all about.
Are we on now? Is this what's happening?
We are on now. Yes.
Oh, are we live? We're live now.
Live.
Well, I'm going to start recording then.
Yeah.
because-
Go ahead.
Good.
Now that Mountain USA foolishness is over with.
Now,
I don't know.
Matt.
You guys are getting rid of that. That's gold on our podcast.
Matt, you may not know this.
Yes.
I on Player One podcast, I go by the name Phil.
Okay.
But you may know me by my online handle, which is Dave.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my
That's
God.
right.
You are
I've,
what's happening.
I've tracked you down.
For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, I'm mortified right now.
That's everyone else here.
Everyone,
Just so you know.
No,
Okay.
no. You know what? No, Matt, don't listen to Dave. Dave
Okay.
don't know what he's talking about.
Okay. That's a
No.
Penn Sunday School, Penn Gillette's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
A listener named Dave wrote in and said, "Less Matt, please."
I love Dave.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then our audio guy, ready to be a wise ass, gave him an audio file of the podcast without my voice in it, but didn't give the spaces that I was occupying. But his credit wrote back, "Thanks, much better."
Perfect.
So that's why there's cold sweat pouring down my forehead. I actually came face to face with Dave.
The real Dave.
So,
Man.
so you're not really him.
No,
Oh God,
goodness, no. I love your participation in
Thank
Penn
you.
Sunday.
I'm glad
My
it's called
goodness.
participation. Thank you.
And he loves the audio file that Ready Ridge sent him without your voice.
If you can get ready to send me an audio file with just you, cut out pen and
I guess anything's possible.
Yeah.
I'm
he's-
sure.
He's psychotic enough to trap himself into doing it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for having us on, and thank you guys so much for agreeing to do Scoop Fest. We're so thrilled to have you guys.
Yes.
Oh, thanks for the invitation.
Yeah. Thanks for the
Yes.
invite. So what I guess we want to do is we'll cut this part into our show separately,
Right.
and we'll just introduce you guys. I'll ask you if you want to describe the Ice Cream Social podcast, and then talk about Scoop Fest, and then we'll do some tweets, talk about video games for a few minutes, and then you guys can get on with your lives.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
Great.
Cool.
We'll stop
Great.
ruining your Saturday after that.
Please, it's nice to talk to other people besides these guys. So
Right.
I'm
man.
thrilled.
Now we can finally figure out time.
This
to get
feels
it
like
all.
my one phone call from jail.
Yeah, throw a phone call.
That's what we like the Player One podcast to feel like, just
Yeah.
general.
Here we are. You're one phone call from jail.
It's felt like that every week for the past 10 years.
Oh God. Yes.
That's how it's felt.
Yes. All right. So we've got Matt, Paul, and Jacob from the Ice Cream Social podcast with us. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about the Ice Cream Social podcast? Matt and Mattingly's Ice Cream Social.
Sure.
Yep.
This is Matt, one half of Matt and Mattingly. Paul and I are improv comedy duo and writing duo here in Las Vegas.
Yep.
We currently work on the production of 50 Shades.
Their connection went out.
Their connection went out. I think we lost you guys.
I
If you can still hear us.
how long we all sat there completely
I know.
quiet, thinking, just go with it. They're gonna come back in a second. It'll be a thing.
I'm going to use that
Did we lose
backup
it?
audio.
Also,
It's going to
I want to say I
brilliant.
love that princess chair behind you, CJ.
be. Don't you though?
That is
It's,
pretty.
It's Sophia the First. If you,
I was trying to figure it out, yeah, and I was going to guess Sophia the First, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I didn't want our princess fans getting too upset with me for getting it wrong.
Yeah.
I don't want to be laughed at Princess Con.
At D23?
I already have
year?
my dress picked out. I don't want to look like a fool.
No. We lost the Ice
We
Cream
lost
Social guys.
right at the beginning too.
Not a good omen.
Great.
Well, we at least we wasted enough time talking about Mountain Dew and me making inside jokes about Penn Sunday School.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
That wasted all the.
they're trying to come back.
All right, here we are.
Good. There we're back.
We have no idea what happened
It was
there.
absolutely perfect timing. Matt gave a wonderful little description of our show.
Yeah, it was so
It
good.
was amazing.
That was great because as soon as you started talking, it went silent. Freeze frame.
Shakespeare would have wept at the answer I was giving. But,
Wow.
Just assumed the answer was phenomenal.
Keep fiddling with the mouse pad on that computer so it doesn't do that again.
No, I don't know what just happened. It wasn't that because that's whatever. It's
I
fine.
don't know. Anyway, all right. So Matt Mattingly's Ice Cream Social. Matt, take it away.
Now that you first at once.
This is Matt from Matt and Meg's Ice Cream Social. I'm one half of a comedy duo here in town. We're writers, we're improvisers. We currently work on 50 Shades the Parody over at Bally's on the Strip, and that's been running for a couple of years. Paul and I, of course, do our nice little award-winning comedy show, The Bucket Show, and we've been doing a podcast now for the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And our podcast is basically all about the behind the scenes of show business and all the weird things in Vegas that we experience for ourselves or that's kind of happening around us, as well as getting into our lives and the things that one half of us finds interesting and the other half can barely listen to. So that's kind of the way Paul talks about nerd comic book shit. I talk about like sports and my kids, and those things just bore Paul to
Yep.
Nice. All right.
Whereas we talk about nerd and the kid stuff.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
So yes.
And we're only bored when Phil talks.
Well, can you blame them? Really?
They're right there with you now, Matt. We've got three of you now have kids that just turned 5, right?
Yeah.
Last week
Yeah.
for my youngest, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well,
Next week my oldest turns 10.
Oh,
Wow.
jeez.
Wow.
I just got back from preschool graduation earlier this morning. So
Congratulations, Phil.
Congratulations.
thank you.
It's a long time coming, but it's worth it. You'll find that it's really worth it.
I've got the colors down.
Did they ask
I
you to speak? As we face
You know what? You guys make fun, but I'm valedictorian there. So,
You'll find now
I
that you know
don't-
how to operate doorknobs, it will open a lot of doors for you.
yeah. I got magna cum laude.
the news and social media will have you thinking that grade school is a nightmare. But if I look on the promising minds of my fellow kindergarten graduates, I think it will be a dream.
Look at you, Bill. When you first started here, you couldn't tie your shoes. Now you can.
I can.
Tommy, you still sleep in diapers, but we love you.
No more Velcro for me. I got the big boy ties. The rabbit ears go through the little burrow.
You
Right.
see? Look at it.
We are laced for the future.
Speaking of the future, Scoop Fest
Uh-oh.
Vegas 17.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
is the second year that you guys have done Scoop Fest.
This is the
Yes.
second year we've had a big one here in Vegas. We had
Yeah.
a mini first Scoop Fest in New Jersey when we were heading out to do a boat tour. Matt and I booked a show for a week on a cruise ship, which was a lot of fun. And before we left, Matt just had the wild hair idea, because he's a Jersey kid, to throw down at his old local tavern. And sure enough, about 150 people showed up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really out of left field, just really cool. And
And it was in Jersey.
it was in Jersey, right? So we were like, well, if we can do this in Jersey, we can do this in Vegas.
Sure.
Yeah.
So then last year we had our first official one here in Vegas, and Scoop Fest 16 was a big hit. We had over 200 people, and we packed in the theater that we had. We have all kinds of great local acts from shows here in town, friends of ours, performers who do all kinds of wild
Yeah, we
things.
did the first Vegas Scoop Fest. We're doing it with you guys as well for any of your listeners that come out. Is we give like a welcoming variety show,
Yeah.
a Vegas only show filled with comedians, clowns, burlesque artists, music, comedians, the whole bit, just to kind of show them what we can offer people here in Vegas.
Mhm. And so last year, the focus was on some different shows, and we had of course, Penn Sunday School and our podcast as well. This year, we're trying to make it even more podcast-centric.
We wanted some cool headliners, and Paul's first idea was to incorporate you guys. Paul said we got to talk to Player One.
It's true. Well, you guys, to tell you the honest truth, you guys were the inspiration to get me to start podcasting years ago. I was with a podcast for almost 8 years myself, which is Geek Shock. And we'd been doing stuff, and the Ugly Couch Show, and we've been doing stuff. We started about, 2 years after you guys were doing it, but listening to you guys is a huge part of what got me going. I told Phil, I tuned in just before I started listening to you guys regularly, just before you did the Dormer Bot episode. And that was what made me a fan forever. And I haven't stopped listening since. So
it's sad though, right? Because we peaked with Dormerbot, really.
I mean, I do keep waiting for Dormerbot to come back in my heart of hearts. I won't lie, but is what it is.
That's a lot of work to do that. It took me 8 hours to do the text to speech stuff and splice that into the show.
I understand it was the most labor-intensive episode ever. That's the thing. Yes. Yeah, but it showed. Every moment of it was pure comedy gold. So.
I'm always volunteering to make the robot talk voice, but he just he doesn't want to.
Something lost in that translation there, Phil.
It's it's not the same.
I think that's what you need to do.
Thanks so much. I do appreciate it.
No, you got it, Phil.
Yeah, but I was like, we got to have these guys on first because they haven't been in a room together broadcasting in a long time, and you've never done it before a live audience.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had a few E3 meetups, but maybe it's been like 2 out of 3 of you.
Is it weird that Paul knows more about you than you guys do?
I'm learning a lot here.
Well, this is the curse of listening to podcasts, right? You end up being a fan, and you listen, and you know so much about these people, but you don't know these people at all.
Right?
It's scary. It's weird.
Paul was squirming like a schoolgirl when he talked about calling you guys to ask you about Scoop Fest. It was kind of adorable.
You're my favorite podcast. You're my favorite podcast.
To be fair, I myself am a big fan of Penn Sunday School. I've been listening to that since its inception. I've been listening to Ice Cream Social. So it's kind of it's the exact same situation with me. I'm just like that's really Jacob the audio guy sitting right there. I can see him. He's looking at me.
Pretty good.
And then we really wanted to up the kind of podcast content of the festival because we really love being podcasters and wanted that part in it. So you guys are in it. We have Nick Vanderkolk from Love and Radio. He's coming out and doing he'll be doing kind of a Q&A and revealing an episode of his upcoming season. In our one, if you haven't listened to Love and Radio, it's a weird, compelling story podcast.
Yeah, it's so neat.
We have Penn Sunday School. We have Emotional Hangs, which is a newer podcast with Kurt Bronler and Joe DeRosa, two kind of like A-list stand-up comedians doing their new podcast. And they'll also be doing a comedy night on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
So the next night will be a comedy night with Joe DeRosa, Kurt Bronler, and then the Apple Sisters are doing a musical comedy act as well that night. And then
we have Brian Brushwood from the Modern Rogue and Night Attack.
Yep.
He's going to be doing his podcast there. And who else? Who are we forgetting?
The Penn Sunday School. We said that.
Yeah.
I think that's everybody.
That's the one we usually forget is Penn Sunday School.
Yeah.
So that's all of them. So,
and then Kurt's doing his. Oh yeah, Kurt's doing his stand-up as well.
And then of course Sunday night we'll end with a Jock versus Nerd Bash. So it's a costume welcoming social end of the fest party with all of us there.
So we're gonna have karaoke going on. We're gonna have a room.
Paul has been very adamant that we have karaoke.
I've never flown anywhere to do karaoke, but Paul seems to think that that's a big thing to hang our hats on.
I'm telling you, it's huge. We're also we're gonna have a video game room.
Yep.
Dedicated.
This is the people you should be talking to.
I know. We're gonna have board games for play and a video game room all set aside. Lots of modded out consoles with all the old school stuff so that people can just indulge in their old arcade dreams and play them like crazy. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, and what we've done, we have there's a theater in town here. It's called The Space. And we've rented out the entire building. So there are 2 big theaters in this building. There are all these smaller rooms in there that we have access to. So we just have the run of this entire building for 3 days. It's going to be fantastic.
There's going to be food trucks, parties, a chance to meet all kinds of cool friends, and I really hope that we do get some listeners for Player One to come out and mingle with the Scoops as well. It'd be really great to have some more crossover.
There's no doubt our listeners and your listeners would be simpatico.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
totally,
definitely.
And if they don't,
heyscoops.com/shop.
heyscoops.com/shop for tickets to Scoop Fest.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Excellent. So September 22nd through the 24th.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, and we have cheap rooms. We have cheap hotel rooms at the Orleans Hotel and Casino, and you can use the offer code A7ICC09, and that'll get you some cheap rooms for those nights at the Orleans Hotel and Casino.
We try to come up with the catchiest discount code.
Exactly. The catchiest one we can come up with.
I'll tell you, I think the meeting ran a little long.
Yeah. It's a code.
I stand by it. I stand by
I think we overthought it.
I don't remember what it stands for, but it stands for something.
I'm just amazed that you have this outstanding lineup with these fabulous, talented people, and then 4 morons sitting up on a stage in front of an audience for the first time, slowly kissing their pants.
No. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. You guys are going to shine.
Well, I think you guys are
shine like
first.
diamonds.
Does that make you feel better?
Oh, yeah, that's much better. Thanks.
Yeah. No pressure.
Okay.
Sitting up there dabbing my head the whole time.
An early Saturday afternoon slot for you guys. So yeah,
Excellent. Oh,
Nice.
Saturday at 7-8. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Start drinking early. This will be good.
Nothing happens before noon. Well, that's the great thing about this town. Now, CJ, I heard you were in town just recently. You got to let me know the next time you come down here.
I will, and I usually show up in Vegas like once a year at least. So
yeah, give
Even
me
without being invited.
What prevented you from calling Paul this time?
Because he's creepy.
Well, there was that. I thought about going to 50 Shades
for security.
I thought about going to 50 Shades, but I was here with my 5-year-old daughter, of course, and couldn't really.
She's too much of a fan of the book to see it be parodied.
That's exactly right.
You have no respect for the source material. This is outrageous.
These characters are so much more nuanced than they're being portrayed.
Millennial Shakespeare.
Absolutely.
We laugh, but this is the exact kind of thing that CJ does with his family. I mean, what was your show you were watching with your daughter?
We went, the first time we went to Vegas with my daughter, she was 3, and we stayed at Treasure Island and went to the pool. And Treasure Island has the Strip's #1 party pool. And it was us with a 3-year-old in one of those like really hard plastic life preservers. And, like 2 or 3 dozen 20-somethings getting drunk by the side of the pool. We had to keep telling our daughter, like, no, don't splash. These people don't want to be splashed. We're the only kid in the pool. It was great.
Yeah. I did not realize that you and I had met before. That's interesting.
I had a similar story where like my second son was just born, and my first son, I was invited to a birthday party, and it was with one of the beautiful people in 50 Shades. We have like really shredded dudes in the cast, and those people just live a different life, especially here in Vegas, you know. So I'm invited to like a backyard pool party, and I said, like, look, I might have to bring my kid, give my wife a little time. And he's like, oh, of course, yeah, no, bring the kid. We have a pool, but whatever. And I show up, and there's like 6 topless women in the backyard or whatever, and like there's like DJ playing and like all these gorgeous people like tan oiled and stuff. Yeah. And I'm sitting there with a stroller, like a huge stroller. And I was like, if someone takes one picture, my wife's gonna fucking kill me.
Your wife isn't the problem there. It's child services.
And all of us. I literally just came in and like did like a little hello to like one person and just turned around. Like I don't think the stroller ever stopped. I think I just like I was here at the party. Goodbye, everybody.
Yep. You like Grandpa coming into the burlesque club?
I was like, whoa, not a lot of tops around here. Getting a little chilly, everybody.
Well, CJ, I have an alert set on my
Safety
phone.
first, everyone.
I have an alert set on my phone, so the next time 2 Live Crew plays live here.
Oh, sweet. Well, I'm going to have to fly my mom out for that.
Your mom.
We know she's a fan.
God. Right, you're face down, Phil, and she's butts up, mom. Right?
Yeah, there you go.
I think that tape is still at my parents' house, actually.
I love it. That is a
Still in
great
the car.
story. Such a great story. His mother forced him to sit down with him and listen to 2 Live Crew back in the day.
Oh, it's just
As
like
a
the
kind of
version of like smoking cigarettes.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's exactly it.
It was
You gotta
so
listen to the whole album. You
gotta
listen to the whole album with mom.
And now you gotta listen to the deep cuts.
You gotta listen to that weird last track where they slowly sew in the credits of the whole album. The song, but you have to listen to the whole thing.
It began as a punishment, but by the end, she was actually the head of their fan club.
It's like these guys are deeper than they get credit for.
They're lyricists.
They have a message.
People think she's his mom
Poetry.
like Star Wars. That's the wrong Luke Skywalker tattoo. That's not what
How about we do some tweets?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, please.
Save me from the continued embarrassment of the Two Live Crew story. We'll do some tweets. I picked out some non-video game ones too, just in case. Still
Thank you.
based.
Thank you.
You're saving Matt.
Yes. All right. Hacker alias Gunstar Gamer says favorite Saturday morning cartoon, and I'm going to add a bonus on top of this. Favorite cereal to enjoy while watching Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh yes. All right.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Who's going first? Everybody's got an answer for this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Shout it out.
I mean, it's terrible now, but of course, every choice you should be embarrassed about, right? But I definitely love the Justice League and Cinnamon Toast.
Mhm.
The old Just League. Well, that's
Old
still
Justice League.
that's got some fun to it.
I like the weird rules of the twins. I don't know, were those based on a comic book? The twins where one could make
They
a
were
form
made
of
up
ice?
for the show.
They were made up for the
Okay,
show.
Yeah.
Good, because I feel like the comic book wouldn't have a lot of life to it. But those are always the rules of the two
Yeah.
twins that could touch each other, and one became an animal, one became a thing of
He
water.
could be something composed of water, and she
Yeah.
could be an
Yeah.
animal.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
just it got freaky from there.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
I feel like those are the only people I still have questions about. Those are the ones that want to win.
And what cereal? The Cinnamon Toast
Cinnamon
Crunch?
Toast Crunch was
that's
my
good.
jam.
That's good. Good
Cinnamon
choice.
Toast Crunch is still my favorite cereal to this
Yeah.
day.
It was good.
My wife busts me every time because I try to buy like the healthy version of it at every different supermarket.
Oh.
It has like a Biscuit Farms whole grain cinnamon thing,
Uh-huh.
and you're like, she's like, this is just Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Stop trying to pretend you're healthy. You're just buying Cinnamon Toast Crunch again.
Not fooling anyone.
Oh.
Yes, I am.
Puffin's cinnamon bricks is the worst attempt.
I would. Yeah, that's a
That's a bad
Puffin
one.
cinnamon bricks.
Well, it's not called. It's called,
bricks?
it's called cinnamon puffins, but I call them puffin cinnamon bricks because they really are the healthy version of it, and you're just crunching on fiber and a little bit of cinnamon.
Oh, man.
Just,
Don't do that to yourself. Just
know.
indulge.
What is a grape nut? Come on.
but okay, who's up?
I love the Pac-Man cartoon. I really did.
Oh,
I
yes.
loved the Pac-Man cartoon.
I love that so much that I wrote a fan fiction book in school in second grade.
What?
That is too much love. That's too much love.
That was our job was to write a book that week, and mine was fan fiction about. It was basically an episode of Pac-Man.
Tell me,
To this day,
please, that
Paul
it was
still shops.
erotic.
It was in so much as it was basically me recapping 3 or 4 episodes that I'd seen.
Oh,
That's
wow.
when I
Ding
went back
dong,
and I read it a couple
Pac-Man
years.
enters carrying a pizza.
Hey, Peppa.
Now
I'm
this
here.
I can totally relate to that. In that 6th grade, I sent in for a creative writing contest, a fan fiction based on Castlevania, but I felt badly like taking credit for the idea of Castlevania. So on the front page, I said based on the hit Konami game. So that's to make sure people knew.
You're legally in the clear then.
Yep.
Right,
No
exactly.
problem. Ethan, you are safe, buddy. You are safe.
Paul still shops his Pac-Man script as a spec script to agents to this day.
I do, and I get looks. I get some looks. I tell you, one of these days it's going to get produced. Like, this is basically 3 episodes of the original cartoon.
keep saying
Yeah,
it's
I know,
like
I know.
Cheers, but with ghosts.
Imagine Sam, but shockingly yellow.
With 50 Shades of Grey started its life as Harry Potter fan fiction.
True.
Right? No, Twilight fan fiction.
Oh, Twilight.
Oh,
Twilight.
right.
That's right. That's right.
6 and 1.
I just corrected a nerd. I'm so excited.
One of these, I will get you on some sort of baseball statistic at some point. Just you wait.
I just got podcast guest bingo.
And then if I was lucky enough, Pac-Man cereal with Pac-Man.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
on brand.
Yeah.
I mean,
Really staying on brand.
I'm nothing if a guy who enjoys a theme. I just love a theme.
Dressed in a yellow t-shirt and running away from fruit.
Yep. That's my life. That's my life. Doing anything I can not to eat healthy foods. And avoiding ghosts. That's not a bad idea. It's a good way to live life.
You're living.
Yeah. What about you, Jacob?
It was Honey Nut Cheerios.
Okay.
Jesus. And
that was a great cartoon.
yeah,
Yeah. What cereal then?
really underrated.
What cereal?
It was Honey Nut Cheerios, and I don't remember watching cartoons, but I remember watching Land of the Lost.
Okay.
Saturday morning Land of the Lost.
That counts.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely.
Yeah, for
Cartoon
sure.
of live action shows.
Mm-hmm.
That is always to this day just shooting a small screen. I mean, a small stream, and then photoshopping a tiny boat on it. As if it was rapids.
Land of the Lost.
Oh, I never saw the remake with Will Ferrell on that. Actually.
Oh, you
I
really
did.
missed out. You really missed out.
Yeah, I know. People won't stop talking about it.
I'm waiting for a gritty reboot of that.
You
Danny
guys,
McBride's best work. Get on it.
you guys make fun, but that Land of the Lost was actually used to be Harry Potter fan fiction. So
I believe it.
not for nothing.
It was when J.K. Rowling was employed, so it wasn't as good.
Yeah. She couldn't dedicate all her time to writing.
Yeah.
She had to lose the job to gain the time. So what about you, Phil? What was your favorite cartoon of choice?
You know what? My cartoon that I was way into back in the day was the Saturday Supercade,
Oh yeah.
which was the hour-long compilation show that was multiple video game cartoons.
Yep.
You had the Space Ace cartoon in there. You had Donkey Kong,
Space Ace.
Mhm.
Donkey Kong Jr., Cubert, Frogger, or Frogger,
Frogger the reporter.
where they translated Frogger from crossing a street to now he's an investigative journalist.
It's
I
so,
can see that.
so messed up. That cartoon, yeah. All those are really bad and weird.
I thought all the seeds were sown in the video game.
Sure.
You really, I mean, you have to pay attention, but it's there.
Yeah.
It is subtext. You're right.
The cars drive in the way like newspaper print would go.
It's
It's a metaphor, really.
It's the decline of journalism metaphor. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Frogger is fake news, guys. I'm sorry to tell you.
Video games are art, man. That's how it works.
You know, you guys
And-
laughed, but that video game was based on some Harry Potter fan fiction.
Now he's catching on.
I'm so mad that I can't come up with a third specific.
It could have been Mark Twain's.
I almost
Jumping
went Kaiser
Frog.
Sose and just pick things off the wall.
Did you have a
your-
cereal?
Yeah, you know what? My cereal that I would enjoy back during the cartoons, I would really get into Lucky Charms.
Oh yeah.
Except the way I would eat Lucky Charms is I would sit there with the bowl, and I would pick out the little oat pieces and eat all those first, until I was left with a half a bowl of marshmallows.
Mhm.
At which point you start scooping them up and crunching them together until you have like a nice baseball-sized marshmallow, and then you just eat that like a damn apple. It was the best.
Wow! Was there any milk involved?
There's
No,
longer,
no.
This is no longer Saturday morning. This is Saturday. You describe something that takes up more time than Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Bill Freebase's Lucky Charms.
Disturbing
With my-
glimpse into the mind of Phil Theobald.
My spoon and my lighter just.
We haven't seen
Purple.
Phil in days. Oh, you didn't let him get his hands on a box of Lucky Charms, did you?
Sorry, I did.
Oh, fuck.
Purple horseshoes, man. Purple horseshoes.
He's on a magical rope and he is flying away.
That's what happened to Richard Pryor, guys.
I would have to say that it's not a cartoon, but Pee-wee's Funhouse was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
First of all-
great choice.
First
Yeah,
of all,
I
it's
mean-
Playhouse.
Whatever.
Playhouse.
Pee-wee. It's Pee-wee.
Unless you watch a different show than what we're thinking of.
It was Canada. You don't know. They
I
translated
corrected
that
a
shit before
nerd.
it came here.
So weird to see Lawrence Fishburne on that also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it is. Yeah, back then it wasn't weird, but
Right.
that guy, you know.
I don't see how it's weird in hindsight.
Saw him on an episode of MASH. That's about it. And we weren't allowed to have really sugary cereals, so the best we could do was Frosted Flakes, which actually is pretty sugary when you think about it. But
Oh yeah.
That is sugary. That is sugary.
But that tiger's very muscular, so it must be good for you.
yeah, baby.
Frosted Flakes is actually based on Starbucks new employee instructional video fan fiction.
It would surprise me.
Sorry. This is too much time to tinker.
Starbucks new employee fan.
There's nothing I like more. In terms of, if I could, there has to be somewhere on the web where this exists.
Oh,
But
the
I
videos?
love instructional videos. Yes.
yeah,
yeah.
Like, so
You
you're a
need-
waiter at Applebee's.
Yeah,
You know, like I
right.
want that.
You need to look up Everything is Terrible. They have a lot of that kind of stuff. in there.
I love instructional videos for employees.
Have you seen the Showbiz Pizza place instructional video?
No.
I'm sure it's gold.
First of all, are you familiar with Showbiz Pizza? It's
Unfortunately, because I do a podcast with Paul Mattingly, I'm very familiar with
that's
I freaked out. I got to see them live with CeeLo Green a couple of years ago here in Vegas.
I remember he did that. Yes.
They closed his live show here in Vegas, and I lost my mind.
The Rock of Fire explosion.
I stood up the whole time the Rock of Fire explosion was on stage. Everybody else is looking at me like a freak. I'm like, guys, you don't even know. And I passed up the chance to drive them back to Florida to Aaron Feichter's warehouse, and I regret it. But it would have been like a week and a half of crazy driving a U-Haul van full of the Rock of Fire explosion.
I feel like both of those stories end in regret.
They
I feel
do.
like,
Yes. I don't regret seeing them, but I regret not driving them back to the warehouse.
The things you would have done with those animatronics when you stopped.
Every time I would have stopped, I mean, me and Fats would have both checked into that Hotel 6. There's no two ways about it. No two ways about it.
These are the most disgusting condition they've ever been returned.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened.
They are all crusty.
We hit a Cinnabon truck. What can I tell you? I'm really sorry. Aaron.
There's the obvious semen joke going on there, but I just like the idea that Cinnabon ships all of its buns completely cooked and frosted by truck to their individual locations.
How else are you going to do it?
That's
Anyone can make them fresh on location.
Come
We'll
on.
make them fresh here.
that's what's selling it for me.
All right, Ethan.
Yeah, so I'm shocked that no one's brought up Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So good.
I mean, Tiamat, remember how scary that was?
Check it out right here.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yes.
I have that as well. It's such a good compilation.
That was my pick. And as far as cereal, man, the way to do it is to get Count Chocula, eat that cereal, and then you have chocolate milk left over, man. That's fantastic.
That's true.
That's not a bad plan.
Yeah, did you make a huge chocolate marshmallow?
Yes. What was the one? There were all those different monster-based cereals. Wasn't there one that was only like seasonal? Like
Blueberry.
Blueberry was the seasonal one.
yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That was my favorite one.
Oh, and I
real
guess
trick.
Fruit Brute kind of fell off too.
Yeah,
What was
Fruit
the
Brute.
Frankenstein one?
Frankenberry.
Yeah.
Frankenberry.
There was also Fruity Yummy Mummy for a short time.
Oh.
Huh.
The real trick with those monster cereals is you get some Count Chocula.
What was that again? Count what? There you go.
You get some Frankenberry, you get some Boo Berry, and you mix them all together and you make a bowl of Monster Mash cereal.
Oh,
You suicide
nice.
cereals.
I thought that was called Monster USA.
No, I think that's just called diabetes.
Diabetes.
You're right. It is called diabetes.
You'll eat your arms off.
Who needs legs?
Your legs so much you won't even miss your foot.
When you turn into a god, you won't need legs.
Yeah, it's
Legs,
great.
legs.
It's more aerodynamic than this leg you have. Keep eating.
By the way, I'm
There was
still
a
trying
fake promotional.
I'm not picturing just a truck pulling just the cinnamon icing. You know, like a
Like a big tanker truck.
Yeah, the big tanker truck. Like, you know, like the tube that you squeeze in the back of a bakery where like all the icing's in that weird like canvas squeeze tube.
Right.
Like that long canvas tube.
It's in a
just
big
the
baker's
back.
pouch.
Yeah, it's a big baker's pouch on the back of a truck.
And then Stone Cold drives it right to the ring.
So you hit it and then it goes off like a fire hose.
That runs into a pig car. That's what you need.
A pig car.
Oh man.
Are we just going to ignore the fact that CJ had the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon like
Yeah.
right
ready?
on his desk ready?
You like that?
In his-
Yeah.
In his pocket.
Did
This
someone
is a show. I
say
don't know what you guys usually do here.
I think he knew he was like,
never
I'm gonna go last.
Was
'cause
that going
I
to be
got
your
this.
choice, CJ?
What? No,
Was
no,
that
your
was
choice?
not going to be my choice. My choice is gummy bears.
Oh,
Gummy
good
Bears.
one.
I still know the theme
Because-
song.
That is
Yeah.
a fantastic cartoon that I'm surprised has not been rebooted in some form or brought to video games.
You're right.
Because it's
And-
so
Kind of like, wasn't that kind of like the cartoon that launched this sort of Disney afternoon thing, like DuckTales
Yeah.
and Tailspin and everything
You're right. So.
came out after that?
Yes.
Never got a game.
No,
the hell
it was really forgotten. You're right.
Yeah, and Captain Crunch, because Captain Crunch is
Oh yeah.
Because you hate the roof of your mouth.
Hey, that's exactly right. Look at these teeth. You can just
Oh,
tell.
God.
Yeah.
wait, standard Captain Crunch or Crunch Berries?
Standard.
Crunch berries. Who had the money for crunch berries?
Yeah, but you gotta eat that Captain Crunch fast, because if you let it soak for 10 minutes, it's the most disgusting thing.
Oh, Soggy's get it. Too late.
Look out for the Soggies.
Captain Crunch is fallen victim. Too bad.
Oh,
Milk is my enemy and my friend. I'm confused.
here in
I need
Theobald
it for my cereal, but
no one pokes more holes in cereal lore than Paul Mattingly.
well, it doesn't really make any sense. Like the Soggies are his mortal enemies,
Yes,
Yeah.
but without that vitamin D, his breakfast value goes to shit.
right.
So what's he talking about?
It's the metaphor is a war machine. You need you need the enemy.
You're right.
And it-
You're right.
Yeah.
It all comes back to propaganda.
Just by making you take sides, they win. You know what I mean?
That's true.
True.
A7ICC09. That's where that all stems from.
Are you guys got time for one more tweet or?
Yeah. We're good.
Okay. All right, let's do this one from Hacker alias Mathman1024, who says, "What has been your favorite code name for a console? Were there any you wish had remained as the name?"
Oh yeah. I liked Ultra 64.
the Nintendo
Huh.
64.
Mm-hmm.
Can you
funny.
just for Jacob's sake, can you repeat the question?
Video game system code names. So before they are introduced as real products, they are often given some kind of name like Dural or Katana or
That's mine right there.
Dolphin.
Katana. That was mine.
Thank you for
yeah.
explaining
that's
that for Matt.
That's a good one.
I
I'll go
wanted
last.
the Nintendo
Best
Revolution.
or if you want to make up a video game system code name, that's fine too.
Now you put my spot. Now you put my spot.
You guys do remember the Revolution?
I do.
Still waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the Wii, right? Or which?
Yeah,
Yes,
that was the Wii. Yep.
Which one was Project Cafe? Is that?
Oh, you're not talking about Prince's band?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was a new power generation guy myself.
Yeah. New Power Generation, which was a 3DO system.
Before Game Boy came out, I remember looking forward to the Pocket Pleaser. I remember that thing. Really couldn't wait to bring my Pocket Pleaser to school.
Oh my god! I don't know why they dropped that name.
That's a good one.
They lost out on some sales, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That would have been an interesting Christmas.
The Nintendo Or Spasm, which is just before the dance pad came
I got nothing.
I didn't know there were all these code names.
Well, yeah, the
No,
NX,
I had no idea.
The NX for the Switch.
NX.
Mhm.
Like I said,
Yeah.
the Dolphin was for the GameCube.
Yep.
And
Although the
Now,
Xbox
did these-
was just the Xbox. That was
You're
the
right.
code name.
Well, it was the direct Xbox at one point.
Well, I guess.
oh
you're
yeah,
right.
Direct Xbox.
Remember
Now-
Xenon?
Were the code names
Xenon.
used to talk about like over correspondence, or was it just the rumors of them took on the nickname from people awaiting them? In other words, what was the source of the
It was
nickname?
usually their in-house codes that the game designers are using.
Okay.
Yeah. Before the marketing people come in and say, no, we can't sell a box that is the Doral or the
Right.
Project
Right.
Natal or whatever.
But if you call it the Xbox One, that won't confuse anybody.
No, of course not.
Seems fine.
Marketing genius stroke.
We had code names for our children before they were born. We did.
The 3DO was
We
the
didn't want
San Mateo software group thing.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, right.
What were the children's code names?
The Pocket Pleaser.
No.
And whoops.
And whoops.
Yeah.
Whoops.
You got to be fucking kidding me. You got to be fucking kidding me. I got to build another crib. You got to be fucking kidding me. So we're moving. Now I got to rebuild 2 cribs.
And those code names didn't stick.
No.
That's
No.
weird.
Honestly, the first one was Got to Be.
It's got to be.
Whatever that song is like,
Got to Be.
Got to Be Real.
Oh, okay.
And then my wife in the car, we were just dating, was like, what is that? I was like, she's like, it always sounds like Scott to be. I was like, yeah, that's the name. That's the name, Scott to be. I was like, I was like, if we ever have a kid, I want to name him Scott to be. That's how much the song means to me. And so that joke became the nickname for the first one.
It's got to
Nice.
And then the second baby was we were discussing the idea of prepping for the baby when we drove by Zizix Road on the highway. And so as baby Zizix, we were prepping for baby Zizix as
Nice.
so it's got to be in Zizix were the name of my 2 children, followed by or spasm.
The talk of the pocket pleaser. Which,
Yeah.
I'm always talking about pocket pleasers. Reminds me of
Reminds me of a story.
have a seat, children. Let me tell you a tale.
Hold on, Jacob, can you start playing some old jazzy music right now?
Now
can't.
Paul
Three of us
knows
hear it.
this. The Player One boys know this, but I'm a bit of a nerd, my own self.
What gave it away?
And, well, allow me to pan around my room here real quick. One of the things of which I am quite nerdy is Transformers. I do enjoy the old Transformers, and in recent years there was a Transformer coming out, and the name that they selected for it was Nexus Maximus, which is a suitably sci-fi Transformer-y sounding name. But apparently they had started promoting this Nexus Maximus character that no one apparently decided to Google the name for, or at least with safe search off, because Nexus Maximus, it turns out, if you go ahead and look it up, is a double-ended.
Yeah.
Dildo? Yeah.
I think we connect Maximus in our show. Actually,
I think we do as well.
Yeah.
That's the brand we use.
And it
No.
does also transform.
Yeah.
Lives. It transforms lives.
Transforms lives.
It transforms 2 lives at once,
Yep.
actually.
Wow. Transform your lovemaking with Nexus Maximus.
I am Nexus Maximus, here to teach you things about your buttholes.
More than meets the thigh.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. So there
Sorry,
we
you
go.
went
on that
to
note.
Real House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we live that life in 50 Shades every damn day.
There you go. I guess with that note, we'll let you guys get back to it. But I wanted to thank you
Thank you, sir.
very much for
Thanks for having us on, guys.
Yeah.
Guys, we're thrilled. We're thrilled to have you come out. We are, there are people. Everyone who comes to the fest gets a swag bag. Let us know if you want to throw something in that swag bag for your people to give to anyone who comes to the fest,
cool.
and we'll be in touch. We'll arrange everything. But we're so thrilled to have you guys and be a part of Scoop Fest 2017.
And I'm just excited that all of you have agreed to stay in one tent on the street. That's really helping us out with hotel costs. I really appreciate that.
It's not as hot as you think in September.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Very nice.
You say agree, we say demand, because
I don't remember there being a choice.
I'm never close enough to Greg.
Yeah.
So this is going to give me a good chance to.
We are going to be filling up a kiddie pool out front to have the second hottest pool in all of Austin.
Yeah. And Phil and I will be topless.
Yeah.
Good.
Awesome.
Matt's kids will be there.
Now it's a party, guys. Now it's a
Sun
party.
feels so good on my skin. I can't.
All right. Once again, heyscoops.com/shop. It's like scoops.com/shop.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Guys.
Thank you.
Awesome meeting you. Awesome talking to you.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Can't wait to see you guys in September.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be fun.
And that's
And that's
the
it.
end of that segment.
That's how you do
So-
that.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Thank you guys again for having us on.
Well, of
course.
course. Thank you guys for coming on, for taking time out of your day.
No, I'm glad we were able to arrange it. And good luck with all your E3 shenanigans. I know CJ, you're up to all that mess.
I'm out there. Yeah, I'm out there in LA for
Yeah.
a week.
I'll be there
It'll be
too.
fun.
Oh, you're there too,
You
Ethan?
on that too, Ethan?
Yep.
Okay. Very
Man.
cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Groovy.
I
Well,
will
yeah,
be
it'll
moving during that time. So,
I'll be,
Oh, man.
I'll be right here.
yeah.
And yeah, congratulations again, Phil, on the Pokemon.
Oh.
game. That's really awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I don't
I just-
expect Pokemon swag when you come out in September, but
You won't say no to it.
have some.
I
Phil-
understand.
Phil, no subtext. I don't expect Pokemon swag when you come out.
Well, someone's getting a Pikachu.
But yeah, we'll need to get you guys to send us your names and all that correct spelling action so we can get y'all squared away on the hotels.
All right.
And,
Can do.
and any other kind of little
You'll
stuff.
get an
like
email
that.
from us. I think we're going to email everybody
yeah.
that's doing the fest, and we'll start arranging travel and all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll start getting on that shortly. So
Awesome.
yeah, prepare for communications from us very soon on those little details. And any questions you guys have, of course, go ahead and just
Email Paul at heyscoops.com.
Paul's not answering his email.
Give me on Twitter. You can get me on Twitter. Give me on Twitter easy.
That's it. Paul can take customer service responsibilities in 140 characters or less.
That's it. That's my limit.
Or you can screenshot a PDF file.
There you go. Might read it.
Yeah.
I might read it. No guarantees.
But yeah, we're thrilled to have you guys, and I think people are gonna love seeing you all together. So we're happy we can do it.
Cool.
Well, yeah, thank you
Oh, yeah.
again.
Thanks again for the invite. Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
All right, fellas.
Okay.
Alrighty. Take care,
All right,
guys.
September. We're gonna
Yes.
record the rest of an episode for us now.
All right.
Oh, excellent.
We're doing a bonus episode too. So
Yep.
cool.
Cool.
Have fun
Cool.
with the rest of the show, guys.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. Now, welcome to the rest of the Player One podcast,
Should
which
we,
won't be as funny.
Should we do a quick clap? Was everybody recording for all that, or
Yeah, I'm still
we can do a
recording.
clap. I'm
still
recording.
recording.
Ready? Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Now let's hear what Player One podcast sounds like when we take away the professional comedian.
Exactly. I think we all know what that sounds like.
Yeah.
I'm already depressed.
Like those guys. They're
Don't
funny.
worry, it'll pick up. We're going to talk about Bubsy, so you know.
Oh, Jesus. Climbing back to the top. Yeah, that was awesome. Having those
Yeah.
guys
It was. Yeah, those guys are good. I love them.
Yes. Yeah, and
I
this is
love
going to be a fun show. For people who are still watching, you should go to heyscoops.com and join us at Scoop Fest 17.
Foch.
And also listen to the Ice Cream Social podcast because
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Funny stuff.
Yeah, bud.
Uh-oh. Hold on. There we go.
I don't know where your phone is, buddy.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm still recording.
That's how I feel when I lose a place on my phone.
Don't do that, please.
You go.
Don't do that, please. Let go, please.
Oh, I can't find my phone.
You go staggering into Greg.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it in my room?
Where's my phone, Greg?
Where is it?
Well, I don't know where it is, buddy. I'm sorry. Stop looking at yourself in the camera and go.
I mean, who doesn't do that? You know?
Oh, man.
Yeah. All righty. We ready? We ready to do it?
Are you going to record the intro?
Yeah, we're going to do the intro.
Okay, cool.
I don't know where we should place that. Should we place that thing?
You should place the intro at the beginning.
Yeah, that's a good spot for it.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, with Matt Mattingly, where we should put that.
At the beginning or at the end of the show?
Yeah, the beginning or end. What do you think?
Either of those is good.
I say beginning because
Yeah,
this is a
lead strong.
pre-E3 show, and people listening to it are going to want something funny at the beginning.
Yeah, lead strong.
Keep
Lead
listening.
strong.
That's right. All right.
Are you going to do so standard intro and then a quick little and now we're going to have special guests. Let's welcome blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'll do something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Hey, I'm just trying to help.
Hello and welcome to episode 553 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, June 13th, 2017. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not snowing. It's good.
I would hope not in June,
You never know.
but yeah. And with me as well, Mr. Phil Theobald.
I know you didn't say what state I'm in.
Oh, the great state of California.
Are you
Is that better?
Are you unsure at the moment?
It's pretty soon it's going
transition.
to change. So,
It's
you are moving.
transitionatory period. Yes. So
Yeah.
for now, I'm still in California.
Okay.
It's not snowing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So we're having a pretty good June.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
See?
I agree. It's you know what? That's a good thing.
Yeah,
I'd be concerned.
exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. And
Even
joining us
feel
from
bad about it.
the great state of California, Mr. Ethan Einhorn. Hello.
Hello, it's great to be back, and it's great to be recording on a Saturday.
Is
Exactly.
it snowing there?
It's not snowing. Nope. The only
See?
issue is it's one less evening of gaming to have before we record. But
There was no snow anywhere. Yeah.
See, if Ethan was really funny, he would have said, "Yeah, I'm really enjoying the snow."
Yeah.
oh, right.
That's
That was
the
your-
funny.
That was your line.
Yeah, that's the funny answer there, Ethan.
Note,
Step up your game.
we are not professional comedians at all. Yeah, a lot of accidental comedy on the show. But yeah, E3 is this week. So
Yeah.
we're
Oh, right.
recording this, however, before E3. So
It's
if
a
you're
smart
looking-
timing.
If you're looking for hot takes on all the announcements from E3, we're not your podcast this week, probably.
No.
Tune in next week. It's like that Mr. Show pre-taped call-in show thing. Tune in next week for the
Oh.
hottest take.
Man, CJ, we could have had the pretext that we were in fact recording right after the big announcement, so that we could say, the Scorpio for $900. I don't know who's going to buy that.
I know. What do they think they are? The 3DO? I mean, come on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But no, we're recording this before most of the press conferences happened. EA did happen, so we can talk about that. But first, what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a little segment here we recorded earlier with the Matt and Mattingly Ice Cream Social I screwed that
Podcast.
up.
It's
I screwed
called a
that up.
podcast. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead. Try that again.
Okay, I'll try that again. Little segment we have with the guys from Matt and Mattingly's Ice Cream Social. And they, of course, are the guys who are running Scoop Fest 17 that that they so graciously invited us to participate in Las Vegas, Nevada, on September 22nd, that weekend
Yes.
there. And you can find all the information in our show notes, heyscoops.com/shop for tickets.
Yes.
And we will roll that little segment right now. And this is where I'll cut, paste it together.
This seems to be the right place to cut it in.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're back. In case you forgot, because of all the shenanigans and comedy that was there, you're listening to the Player One podcast. Been a long time since I've done that.
Cricket noise.
Yeah.
Cricket noise. Yeah. Let's get back to the real show now. Cricket noise. Cricket noise.
Yeah. We got some news to talk about.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
You know what? I'm excited about Scoop Fest. I'm just going to say that.
I am super excited about it.
I'm very excited about Scoop Fest. And talking with Matt and Mattingly.
I'm scared shitless about Scoop Fest.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll do our bully game club there.
We'll do our bully game club.
We are long awaited, long paid for by our gracious and beautiful Patreon supporters.
That's right. Yeah. That's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the news.
Okay.
All right.
And we've got a lot of game announcements happening in the week leading up to E3. A lot of surprises, a lot of unexpected stuff. And one of
I come
those
to the show, so I know what all this stuff is.
One of those
possibly be talked about.
One of those is a Bubsy revival called Bubsy: The Woolies Strike Back.
Yes.
Developed by the same developer who did the Gianna Sisters remake.
I enjoyed.
Yeah, you did enjoy that. So
I did enjoy it.
So yeah, there's a trailer out that looks suitably horrible for Bubsy. And I made my little climbs back to the top of the yarn ball reference on Twitter because, of course, a pull quote that I wrote in a preview of Bubsy 3D landed on the front of the box of the game, and it's a terrible game.
Well, so and that begs the question, is there going to be a boxed version of this? Because if there is, we should get a Player One podcast quote on the back of that box that is identical.
That quote was not on the back, my friend.
That was on the front.
Okay.
Yeah, also, CJ didn't rate the back of the box. He was the front of the box.
Yeah. Also, I'm thinking I should write a preview for playeronepodcast.com where I do a lot of dots and climbing back to the top. Yeah.
I just want to point out to Ethan that is the improper usage of the phrase begging the question.
Okay. Well, thank you very much
begging
for the
question. Begging the question does not mean raises the question. That is incorrect usage.
Well, I'm sure not only am I
you're not a teacher anymore, dude.
I'm very grateful for that correction.
Come to Scoop Fest so you can see Ethan punch Phil out live.
Anyway, yeah, Bubsy.
Bubsy.
You know, it's a thing. I guess, it had to happen eventually, right?
Yeah.
Although
Did it really?
Yeah, it did.
I don't feel like it did, but
the fact that the developers are the Gianna Sister developers makes me think it might actually be good.
Well, and Bubsy is exactly the line. It's like it is the base bottom for nostalgia. Like below the line is things like Awesome Possum and Arrow the Acrobat. Those won't come back. But Bubsy, that's like the one final thing that you can say, all right, this deserves a comeback.
Just cheesy enough.
I think if Bubsy can come back, Arrow the Acrobat can definitely come back. All bets are off at this point.
Where's my High Seas Havoc?
We have really separated from reality at this point. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Fun times. All right. So last week we had a Pokemon Direct, and everyone thought we were going to get a Switch announcement of Pokemon Sun, but we didn't. Instead, we get Pokemon Tournament Deluxe for Switch on September 22nd with some added stuff. Pretty cool.
Which, frankly, I gotta say, I'm more excited about just because I already have played the new Pokemon games on 3DS, but I have not myself ever played Pokken Tournament, and so that to me is going to be a totally new experience. I'm really excited about that.
It's a good game. And then they're doing Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon on November 17th. So not even the whole Stars rumor, which was the thing, but no, I guess not. Instead, it's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which apparently is like a completely new game, and we're going to get some more information on that at Nintendo's E3 event. Then
new campaign, same world, right?
New campaign, same world. Yes, is what everybody's saying. And then Pokemon Gold and Silver are coming to the 3DS Virtual Console on September 22nd. And those are fantastic games. Gold and Silver are excellent.
Now, that's the one thing where I'm hoping that we find out at E3 that's also coming to Virtual Console on Switch.
Do you think we're going to hear anything about Virtual Console? At all?
No.
I give it.
I don't
think
think we are.
30%. I'd give it a 30% chance.
30% is pretty low.
Yeah.
Pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, I would also say that there's a 30% chance we're going to hear about the Dreamcast 2. Just to put that in perspective.
The Katana 2. It's called the Katana 2.
Katana 2, yeah.
Or the Dural 2, or whatever.
The Black Belt 2. Oh, it's a Saturn.
Yeah. Alrighty. Ars Technica did a report. Kyle Orland over there did a report where he mined through the data that the Xbox One API gives on usage. And there were a couple of interesting metrics in here. One, that only 1.5% of the time sampled was spent on backwards compatible games.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, that means, backwards compatibility is a feature that everybody requests, but nobody really uses. Right?
Yeah, but the thing that people always suggest by extension to that is it is subsequently useless. And that I don't agree with at all, because I am, as I speak, staring at 150 plus Vita boxes, and I have not played probably 90 of them. But and who knows, maybe I never will, but I know that they're there in case I want to. And that emotional connection is not meaningless. I think people like the idea of I can play these old games that I spent money on whenever I want to, even if they don't ultimately get to it. There's still value there.
I think it would be more interesting. Like that is an interesting stat to me, because I'm one of the people who argues that backwards compatibility is important. But again, I argue that based on my style, the type of gamer I am, which is to hang on to my older games, and like Ethan, not somebody who bought 150 Vita games, but like I have games from the previous generation that I would like to play without having to plug in my Xbox 360 for sure. But I'd like to see those metrics based on a system that had full backwards compatibility from the start. Because the thing is by the time this came in on the Xbox One, it already had an established library. I've always argued that it's.
And I wonder how many users even know that the feature is there.
Right, and I've always argued that backwards compatibility is most important at launch, because that's when you have a very much smaller library. Depending on your launch, you might not have very many games at all to play. So having that backwards compatibility is a nice smooth transition for the people who you're asking to basically give up any library they've created on your older console. If they move forward and they can still play those games right away, I feel like it would be more usage. But that's just
to Greg's point, also that overlap window. I remember really being happy to be able to play God of War 2 on my PS3. Because that came out when PS3 was out, and there wasn't much out on PS3, and I didn't have to go back to my PS2 to play it, which was nice.
Yeah, that I think it's important there. And I mean, I go back. I feel like this argument could be made from 30 years ago. I mean, I've covered this on Generation 16 before, but one of the big selling points that the Genesis had over the Super Nintendo back in the day was that they had the power base converter, which meant that you could play Master System games. Nobody owned any Master System games in the United States. Right. But it was a huge PR boon, and I believe it was, I don't know who it was one of the executives at Sega said like it was the most important peripheral that nobody ever bought. But they were able to say, because back then there was a huge outcry about the Super Nintendo not being backwards compatible when it was first announced.
Think about also the fact that
Yeah.
One of the coolest marketing pushes ever was Microsoft being able to say, hey, buy Quantum Break, we're going to give you Alan Wake for free. Buy Just Cause 3, we're going to give you Just
That's
Cause
a good
2
point.
for free.
Yeah.
They did that with a bunch of games. Rainbow Six Siege had Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2 packed in. I loved that. Fallout 4 gave you Fallout 3. That's Dishonored did the same thing.
Easy way to add value.
Yeah.
Totally.
Mhm.
Totally. And I think this really isn't surprising, right? Because of course most users are going to be playing the new hotness, and
Right.
you know, it's like on Netflix, I'm sure a lot of people are watching House of Cards versus you know, something else on the service.
Good example.
You like that?
Yeah, that's good.
Well, also it's
But then
valuable.
this
Oh, I was just going to say it's valuable for certain games where, like, when Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out, I guarantee you there's going to be a spike in people, you know, doing backwards compatibility for Red Dead Redemption 1 about a month beforehand.
That's probably true. I wonder how much of that 1.5% is Red Dead Redemption, because that game never had a PC version, right?
Right.
Right.
So, and then we have this quote from a PlayStation executive. This is Sony's head of global sales, Jim Ryan, who said, here's the quote: when we've dabbled with backwards compatibility, I can say it is one of those features that is much requested but not actually used much. Then he says that, and I was at a Gran Turismo event recently where they had PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4 games, and the PS1 and PS2 games, they looked ancient. Like, why would anybody play this?
They are ancient.
Yeah.
I think that it's a bit. I think that's kind of, I don't know. Using Gran Turismo as your sample seems ridiculous to me, because that's like saying, well, why would I have backwards compatibility? No one wants to play Madden 98.
Well, exactly.
Well, yeah, of course they don't, because they make a new one every friggin' year. It's the exact same type of game. But if you talk about things like story-based games, like say Metal Gear Solid, that's totally different.
Mhm.
Yes, that still looks ancient as well, but you can't play that on a current console.
Oh man, look at the hairstyles and puppetry of The Empire Strikes Back. Why would anyone watch that?
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly.
Well, they don't have to with the special editions now. They fixed all that.
I'm hoping they finally get around to CGing Yoda in that to make him match up more with the prequels.
Oh God.
Edit out that puppet.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing to say, just especially in light of like now so many games that are released digitally only, we may see have very short shelf lives and go away forever. It's like actually awesome that there are games that you can play from 25 years ago and they look and play exactly the way they did then. That's great.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. But I want that I'm Jammer Lammy remaster.
Same
they
here. Holy free.
go ahead and do that. I mean, really, I will accept any remaster of a great game. I mean, if they want to redo some graphics, fine. I'll play that.
Yeah, speaking of that sort of thing, I this is not on our news list, but Mega Man Legacy Collection 2
Oh
Yeah.
coming soon.
So
Just
Mega
announced.
Man 7, 8, 9, and 10.
7, 8, 9, and 10. Mega Man and Bass.
It's not going to be on there. Yeah.
Conspicuous in its absence.
Yeah.
7, 8, and then 9 and 10 playable on modern systems. Which
Well,
is,
they have to save something for the third collection when they have Mega Man Soccer and something else. Right? That's what they're doing here.
Mega Man for Game Gear. It'll be a Game Gear port.
Oh, finally.
The Wily
And
Wars.
the PC. That's what they should do next. They should do the Wily Wars, the Mega Man games on PC,
Yeah.
Mega Man on Game Gear, Mega Man Soccer,
Yeah.
and Mega
I love
Man
it.
and Bass. Because you got to have a good game on there too.
Yeah. The one good game in that collection.
Interested to see. I mean, I doubt this will happen, but boy, I really hope that the Mega Man 8 version that's included is the Saturn version.
Saturn,
But I'm guessing
yeah.
it's not.
Probably won't be, but it needs to be, since that is the superior version.
It is.
Yeah,
We all know.
for sure.
I see. Well, Jim Ryan also said some stuff about the Vita to Glixel. So Ethan, cover those ears. He said the Vita still sells in Japan and some parts of Asia, but it's not an active line for us in the West.
Hmm.
Well, all I can say is I just bought 2 brand new games this Friday from Limited Run. I mean, they're still pumping stuff out. You just need to know where to look for it. But
I don't know. Is Limited Run releasing a game now and then pumping stuff out?
I think that it's definitely adding value to the ecosystem. And one of the 2 games, by the way, is Broken Age. So
Broken Age is great.
Actually,
Yeah.
Limited Run is kind of pumping out the games, though. I mean,
they're like, that is the Vita support right there.
That is
seems like
hard to support at this point.
it seems like about every 2 weeks there's a new
It's
Limited
anime.
Run
Right.
release.
It's anime boob touching games and Limited Run.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like we said, Sony is, and that's not an active product for Sony.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Anyway, Yu Suzuki gave a little update to the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter to say that Shenmue 3 is coming in 2018.
Okay.
So this is a Shenmue game then.
Endless delays.
Another year to wait before being disappointed.
Have you seen some of the concept art that he posted?
I've seen it. And remember, I love Shenmue 1 and 2. I was the one who was trying to push for a 10 for Shenmue 2 back in the day at EGM. But I just think that Shenmue 3 coming out now in light of what open world games are, it can only be a disappointment. It can't hit what you remember Shenmue 1 and 2 feeling like, because if you go back and play those games today, they really are archaic.
How much did the Kickstarter make? I forget.
Wasn't it like $3 million or something? Yeah, but not nearly enough. I mean, the budgets on these games, go well into the 80 to 100 million now for like A class. I'm not saying a AAA open world game.
Yeah, I think you're right. Whatever amount they made
6.3 million.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not enough to make a game like Shenmue in the style that you remember it. I mean, what was the budget on the first and second game?
Right. And to be clear, the number that Phil just quoted is roughly the budget for 2 XBLA games.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So, Nintendo. Let's get one Nintendo story out here.
Nintendo story.
They did a little announcement on Super Nintendo World, which is coming out at the Universal Studios Japan.
Cool.
Yes.
I think that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
I'm down with it.
That and Harry Potter, I'm going to need to get down to Universal sometime in the next 5 years.
Yes.
Yep. And it subtly reinforces that they won't be bought by Disney anytime soon, which, much as I love what Disney's done with Star Wars and Marvel, it's nice that they don't own literally everything.
I want to go to Universal Studios Japan. They have like an announcement video. I don't know if you guys saw this, where they did like a press conference, but it's in like a vacant lot. There's like nobody
Really?
there. It's kind of weird.
Huh.
But anyway.
Okay.
Speaking of press conferences, Electronic Arts just had theirs today.
Yes.
And
lots of sports.
I skipped the sports stuff. I didn't even bother with the sports stuff. But you said that
I watched some of it.
Yeah, some sports games didn't show.
Well, yeah, they didn't show anything, unless I missed it. They didn't show anything to do with NHL 18, which is, of course, the sports game that I really care about with them. But I don't think they concentrated a lot on Madden, FIFA, and NBA Live 18 because we're giving it another shot. And they talked a lot about esports. They talked a lot about what the heck is it called? Ultimate Team. They talked a lot about the Ultimate Team stuff. One of the things that they were talking about, which I think they're doing, I want to say they did this previously in their FIFA games, but they're also doing it in Madden and NBA now, is the campaign mode, like story mode, where you're actually playing a character working their way up into and through their career in the whatever, if it's the NFL or the or the NBA or whichever. So that's cool. That's interesting. It's different. I mean, they did that years and years ago with their boxing game, and it was really well received. I was kind of hoping to hear that they were going to do it with NHL, but they didn't mention NHL once, at least not in the presentation that I watched, unless it was at one of the points that I'd stepped away. Doesn't surprise me. NHL is definitely sort of a second tier title when it comes to their major sports franchises, like FIFA and Madden are way at the top, and NBA is important because they're still trying to bring it back from the dead. But still would have been nice to hear. And I kind of hope that when they do talk about it a little bit more, that they say that they're going to do something similar, because that might get me to jump back into that series. But the skeptic in me says that it'll be at least a year before it becomes part of the NHL franchise. So who knows? We'll see.
All right. But besides sports, because
Sports,
that's, we have a new game from the Brothers Tale of Two Sons game, right? Called A Way Out.
developer. Yeah. By is it Hayes Games, I think it's called, or something like that.
And what is that being published by EA?
It is being published, under the EA Originals label.
Okay. Because I have such mixed feelings about EA. I think that the quality of their stuff is actually pretty consistently excellent. So, so long as there's no Loot Crate or Ultimate Team, I will buy anything that's EA.
Well, so A Way Out, let's talk about this. This is a co-op adventure, and you have to play it with another player either sitting next to you or online.
It's required, and it is split screen all the time.
It is split screen
even
all
if
the
you're playing
time.
online. Yeah.
Well, one player is in a cutscene, the other player can be in the split screen moving around and doing things, which it looks really awesome, actually. Like, I'm super interested to see how this works. My only concern about it in a narrative game, if you're going to be playing online, like, what's the continuity there? Like, if somebody somebody drops, like, does somebody else come in? Are you playing?
He actually on stage there said specifically that this is not a drop in, drop out game. You need to have two players playing at all times.
But then what happens if you want to like play the game? I guess you have to like set up your progression with the same player that you played online with.
Oh, I mean, maybe starting and stopping, it might. Yeah, that's a good question, actually. But I mean, either way, all I know is that I thought what you were describing was if somebody decides to leave, I can keep playing and somebody else can join me. Oh. But he actually specifically said, no, it is not a drop in, drop out multiplayer.
But then what happens, like, if you play one?
I don't know. I didn't make the game. I don't know what happens.
Well, come on, Greg. How do you not know this?
I'm sure there's a save file of some sort that you get to load. What do you want from me?
I don't even know anymore.
So,
but
it looks interesting. The game looks interesting. It's a Prison Break game.
Prison Break.
Although it's clearly not the entirety of the game, because there was a lot of footage of them, like in a. Wow, everyone's leaving. Phil's gone. Ethan's leaving.
That's just us.
That's hilarious.
Bathroom break.
Crap. Yeah, I mean it's basically a co-op game, and you're right. Like it's interesting to me that it is always split screen.
Yes.
Even when you're playing online multiplayer, that is new and different. I definitely want to try it out. I played Brothers, so it was okay. I liked it. It's not like, it wasn't incredible. But it was good enough that I want to give this a shot. I mean, if the price is right, we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely want to give this a shot. I mean, the thing about it is, so you have the studio who did Brothers, and now they have the budget behind them from Electronic Arts.
Right.
I want to see what they can do with that.
Right.
And the Prison Break story seems really interesting to me, and also, of course, what happens after they get out. I'm wondering though how long of a game this could be, because if you are required to have a second player play through, like how long can a game like that really be?
Well, I don't know. And right, I mean, there's a lot of questions, like when you're part of this EA, whatever the name of that funding,
EA Originals.
EA Originals, like what is the funding model? Like what size budget are we actually talking about? Like I don't really know that. So
yeah.
I don't know. It sounds interesting. It looks interesting. We'll see how it goes.
Indeed. And then they announced BioWare's new thing called Anthem. And it was just a teaser that they showed at EA Play, and then they're going to have a full gameplay reveal or a full trailer of some kind at Microsoft's E3 press conference.
It looked so much like, at first, before they actually showed a creature outside, it actually looked so much like Terminator.
Yeah.
Like post-apocalypse, but it looks cool. It looks cool. The setting looks neat, right?
I think now after Andromeda, they can't rush this thing.
No.
No.
Whatever this turns out to be, I mean, years away, right?
Well, this is the A team as well, so it's going to be great. And I think it's terrific that we're getting another new IP because this generation has been very low on new original.
That's true.
IPs.
Yeah, for sure.
I like it. And then, of course, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Which does look gorgeous. It looks
my
gorgeous.
God.
So good.
I actually had to run and get my son was upstairs watching a movie, and I was like, "Hold, you gotta come down and watch this." And we sat there and watched that whole presentation together. He is so pumped because he's a big Battlefront fan. So,
there you go.
If there's one game that could get me a little bit itchy to get a Scorpio, it would be that one.
But it's coming out on everything.
No,
right?
I know, but what I'm saying is, like, to be able to play something like that in 4K with, you have
a high-end PC.
I do have a high-end PC. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't like playing on PC. I like playing in the console ecosystem.
Okay. Fair enough.
So cool to see that it's covering all 3 movie generations now.
Yep.
And love to hear that there's actually supposed to be a robust campaign mode. I hope that's true. Hope that's not just a line. They're saying that it's going to be an essential Star Wars story along the lines of like a Rogue One, where it's sort of bridging the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens.
Well, they also said the game in multiplayer was going to have 3 times the content of the first game, right?
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me. Just based on what they were showing, I mean, the gameplay that they were showing was the attack on Theed, and it was cool too because it was a multi-stage battle. So that it started with so it was the droids attacking Theed, and you played as either the stormtroopers and they weren't the Empire then. What were they called? I don't know. Or the droid army. And the whole idea is that there was a droid troop carrier that was going down like the streets of Theed, and you had to slow it down as much as you could, or you had to protect it depending on what side you're on. And then once it got to the castle, you actually go into siege mode, and you had to blow a hole in the wall of the castle. And then the next stage of it was actually getting to the throne room, and it's really neat. And I thought it was interesting that they showed what is probably the most reviled era of the movies.
Right.
Yeah,
but it still looked really good. Like it still looked like a lot of fun.
Your favorite characters are in it, so it's still cool.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm definitely on board for that. I mean, my son is crazy with that game anyway. It's something that we're going to be able to play together, and knowing that there's going to be a story mode, which is really all I didn't like about the previous one. I'm definitely.
Can you kill Gungans?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure you can.
You so people gonna die?
Just you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just Jar Jar.
That's some way bomb bad and no good.
Wow.
Who, sir? Are you, sir?
Yeah.
Stop.
So anyway, that's all the pre-E3 information we have.
Nice.
Yeah, on this very timely podcast.
Yeah. I can't wait. This game is going to make you feel like you are Jake Lloyd. I just can't wait.
Oh Lord,
that's mean.
Why would anyone want
Jake
that?
Lloyd, that's mean. He didn't ask for that.
I was
he didn't.
Benevolent and generous.
Alrighty.
Jeez.
So what are we looking forward to at E3? What do you want?
We didn't talk about Need for Speed.
Oh, okay. Talk about Need for Speed.
They had Need for Speed. They showed Need for Speed.
I mean, they showed that last week. The reveal trailer. That's old news. Come on.
They actually showed some gameplay this time.
Oh, okay.
Are you any more excited this week?
I actually really am. I'm so mad at them because now I want to play it, and I know better. I've been burned so many times with Need for Speed games, and now I want to play it. But it looks really neat. So yeah, like the whole gameplay. They said open world, which but it actually looked like it really mixed. There was some burnout in there. Is all I'm saying. Because you're chasing down this like armored truck, and it's some cartel you're fighting or something like that, and it had like cars that were sort of running guard for it, and you had to actually check them into like telephone poles and oncoming traffic, and just sort of destroy them. So you had to destroy them; they had to blow up so you could actually go and attack the truck and that sort of thing. No weapons involved; it was all just battering into them with your car. Yeah, CJ, you should watch it.
That's interesting.
I think you're gonna like what you see.
I skipped that part of the press conference. I might
they announced it, and it was so funny because they were using one of the things they did with their whole event was they were using the game changers to announce each new segment.
Isn't it like EA's version of Treehouse or something?
No, the game changers, I believe, are actually people that they're players that they fly in. They're the ones that for years now. I might be wrong with this, but I think this is how it works: is that for all their communities, for their multiplayer games, they've actually been consulting with some of the biggest members of their communities on development. So like if you look at the Star Wars stuff again, that's what they're talking about, is they fly all these people in to wherever they're based, Sweden. And they get to try out the game and they get to give a bunch of feedback. They've been doing this kind of thing for years. EA has, and they're called Game Changers. That's the name of this group. And they were the people who were actually announcing the new segments. And the dude that they had announcing the Need for Speed segment, I think the teleprompter had a problem because he really tripped over everything he was saying. And he was kind of, you could tell he was like looking at the camera like something's wrong with this thing. Like, But anyway, they announced that it was Need for Speed, and I was like, oh, God, here we go. I'm going to be so disappointed. And then I'm watching the gameplay, and I'm like, I want to play this right now. I can't wait. So I'm in.
Nice. Yeah, but I mean, don't you think probably it's going to come out like 2 weeks apart from Forza, so you'll just get Forza and kind of forget about Need for Speed?
Maybe. Could be. What they didn't show, and what's always been my biggest issue, well, not always, but it's been my biggest issue in Need for Speed for a long time, is the police chases, and they did not show one. And those have always been the things that have ruined those games for me since, I think the last time I was okay with them was like one of the Hot Pursuit games. But
yeah, Hot Pursuit.
We'll see. Yeah, I've never thought they've done police chases well in the open world concept. So we'll see if that changes. And I mean, that could be the thing that kills it for me. But as of right now, I'm very excited.
All right.
Okay. Cool. So moving on from that, what are we excited to see?
Smash Brothers.
Yeah, do we think that'll actually happen?
Yes, I do. I think that it just makes so much sense because that is a game like Mario that had tons of DLC, so there's a lot of value to packing all that DLC in. I think it's likely that just like we saw with the Splatoon characters in Mario Kart, that we'll see something similar to that. Like, maybe we'll see Splatoon characters there, maybe ARMS characters. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably something that would be fairly easy for them to get to market quickly that would sell millions of copies.
I think it makes sense for them to do that. I'm wondering if they need it now, right? I mean, because the Switch is doing fairly well without
think of it this way.
it.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is if it is in fact just an update of the Wii U game, it gives something exciting to people now, and that doesn't by any means preclude them from 2-3 years from now.
Let's not call another Wii U port an exciting thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'd be pretty excited about it.
I've said it before, and I think it still stands that they have to be careful with how many Wii U ports come around, just because the perception starts to be in the press or
exactly
with users that all this thing has are warmed over Wii U games. And while I think
Mario Kart all we have, but if
but CJ saying the perception is there, and that's absolutely true.
Yeah, I mean, I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think it's great. I think if they did a Smash Brothers game on Switch, it would be awesome. But yeah, I want new games also. So please do that.
Don't fall into the trap that honestly Sony and Microsoft both, if I remember correctly, both seem to fall into in the first year. And I shouldn't just say them. All game developers, all game publishers seem to fall into this trap in the first year of this generation, which was releasing wave after wave of HD remakes of games that had just come out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was too much. And it had the effect of, to me at least, it's had the effect of making this generation feel shorter than it actually is.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but I think that comes more from the fact that with the PS4 and Xbox One, there was very little that was coming out that was new. If there was a reasonable balance, I think you'd feel differently about it. So I would be just fine if they put DMC on here, and I'm excited about Skyrim and stuff like that. If that's all there was, that would be a bummer to me. But I'm happy to get those types of titles in between the Mario Odysseys.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you were getting new titles back then too. It just stands out.
I think if they can pull it off and they can do new titles every month and not have to regurgitate a Wii U game, then they should do that instead. I'm not saying they shouldn't do Smash Brothers on Switch, because I think it'd be awesome, but I don't think
say do a new one. Do a new one.
Well, not even do a new one. I think they could take content from the 3DS game and pull content from what people liked from the Wii U version and make it seem new.
Sure. Yeah.
And
but I
think of course have new fighters and new stages and all that, and that'll be fine. But don't make it seem like it's a Wii U port.
I guess anyway. Honestly, the way to look at it is they need to do more than they did with Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
What they did with Mario Kart 8 was not enough to make that feel new.
I'm still hoping to get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, because that'll be awesome.
Pumpkin Tournament is coming through, and that almost certainly won't have like a ton of new content.
Right, which is another reason why I don't think that's very exciting. I know you're excited.
Yeah.
But you're excited about anything that comes out on the Switch at this point. So honestly, it would have been more exciting to hear a new mainline Pokemon game was coming to the Switch.
Sure. I see that. Better? Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I guess what makes me scratch my head a little bit is like, why would you not want those types of products on the platform? If you're not interested in them, don't buy them.
Yeah, but we're talking about public perception. We're not talking about me. We're talking about public perception here. This is the path you guys were going down in your conversation. I mean, me personally, I agree. I'm not interested in those, and I'm not going to buy them. But the thing is that if you run the risk of, hey, look, another Wii U game in the first year of the Switch's life. That's fantastic. Like, it was the exact same thing that was happening on the PlayStation 4. The first year of the PlayStation 4, you're getting a remake of this and a remake of that and an update of this. And it's like, hey, look, the Final Fantasy 10 and 10 Part 2 collection that was just released a year ago on the PS3 is now on the PS4. Like, that was happening, and it was a problem. And it led to this generation feeling like a non-starter for like the first 10 months. And you don't want that to happen on the Switch.
I maintain that it felt that way simply because at that point, people are pretty gun shy about bringing games to the new console, so there wasn't much in the chute.
I understand why it happened. Yeah, I understand why it happened. Don't get me wrong.
To me,
that doesn't make the perception any better. Like, me as someone who just went out and spent $500 on my PS4, and I'm saying, oh, they want me to spend $80 on The Last of Us HD, but I already bought that last year. Hearing, well, they're a little bit gun shy with the new generation. Well, that's great. I just spent $500 on a new console. I want new games.
That's Canadian prices as well.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but one of the things
is still a lot of money.
I agree with you. One of the thing I thought was interesting today, with EA thing, when the BioWare Anthem game was announced, and they said that was going to be at Microsoft's E3 thing. Do we think that also shows up at Sony? Or is it going to be a Microsoft exclusive?
I think it shows up at Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it'll also show up on PlayStation. It can't possibly be an Xbox.
You might hear. Right? Oh yeah, sorry. I don't know if it'll show up at Sony's actual event, but it'll be on the PlayStation.
On PS4.
I mean, you might hear about like exclusive DLC or something for the Xbox.
Yeah, I think Microsoft learned some lessons with Tomb Raider as well, because instantly the question when they announced that as exclusive was, okay, yeah, but when is it actually coming to Sony's?
Right, exactly. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's different for a new IP that hasn't been on any platform yet.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think what's most interesting about that is, okay, so there might be new IP like Anthem shown at these press conferences, and besides all the stuff we know that Sony has, like what could they have that's new, like Anthem, to get me excited? Because Sony's press conference, I kind of worry that it'll just be updates of the things we already know about, and that to me is not exciting. Like I want to see new stuff too. Especially when you're going to be comparing Microsoft and Sony directly, probably. it's not going to look good if all we see are Last of Us 2 and Days Gone and
we're going to see God of War.
God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
you'll definitely see that. But I want something more. I want something.
I'm sure you'll see some. I'm sure you'll see some new stuff. I mean, don't forget.
I'm sure we will too. Yeah.
Well,
Knack
and
2.
again,
Everybody's favorite.
Start getting used to this, because as games get bigger and bigger, like Battlefront, you're having more service-based games where, you know, first party and third party are just going to be making fewer games.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's definitely true. All right. Anybody else excited about stuff for E3?
I'm excited to see. I mean, you know, all the standbys. I'm excited to see what they're going to do next with Forza. I'm excited to get an actual date for Gran Turismo. I was really excited to see Battlefront.
Do you think you're going to get an actual date for Gran Turismo?
Yeah, I think they have to. They've had the beta. They've had the public beta going for a while now. Well, it's closed beta going for a while now. I mean, people are playing it. It's okay. It's time to release that thing. Yeah. I'm really excited to see actual gameplay of The Last of Us 2.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm really want to see that.
Yeah. I'm totally into that.
I want to know much more about Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
That, because that is, to me, is the most exciting thing happening for the Switch anytime soon.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them come out and say, hey, look, here's a new F-Zero or something like that. If they're going to bring back older franchises, bring back older franchises. Let's dive back, you know, into the early 2000s, into the late 90s. Do something like that.
I want to know what Retro and Next Level are doing.
Yes, I want to know what Retro's doing. Absolutely. Yeah. Love to see I'd love to see them announce a Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Switch.
Oh man, yeah.
Cool. You know,
yes. I want to see what some of those smaller studios are doing. I mean, Nintendo has done a lot of small digital games, and I want to see how that comes to the Switch, right? Like, what are some of those studios doing?
Yeah.
For Switch?
Yeah.
Yep. Because we already know Badge Arcade is closing on the 3DS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're killing off Badge Arcade?
Well, yes. Stopping the service. Yeah, or they already have. They may already have done that. But all right,
Badge Arcade.
Yeah, it's going to be a good week, though. I think it's going to be an exciting week. We'll find out if Microsoft is going to call the Xbox Scorpio the Scorpio.
They've been sending scorpions to everyone.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, why would you do that unless you're actually going to call this thing Scorpio?
Hey,
right.
Hey, man, I'm hoping they rename it for broad release the Serpico. That's what I want.
Me too.
Serpico.
Just call it the Serpico.
Yikes. All right. Do you want to do some tweets?
Sure.
Or do you want to talk about what we've been playing?
Anything new this week? Has anyone been playing anything new this week?
I streamed Friday the 13th on our YouTube channel.
Saw that.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'd like to bring up just a couple things on what I've been playing, because I've been playing more Horizon, and were it not for Zelda, that would be my game of the year so far.
Nice.
I really like Horizon. It's just such a good mix of like Tomb Raider and Red Dead Redemption. And the whole idea of these mechanized beasts really creates a world that feels different than anything I've explored before. I don't love the lead character, but the thing is gorgeous, and the open world gives me so much to play with.
To be fair, you love your wife.
Yes.
So why would you be in love with
yeah,
with
her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I mean,
no, I don't think she's a particularly empathetic or likable character, but everything around her is great, and I just am really, really happy that I decided to take some time to play that one. I was able to finish Spectre Knight, which I can say also that I like that better than Shovel Knight, and I still recommend people give it a try. It's a little easier. It's here's the thing to remember. It's easier. It's made for people like you and me who don't want to go through levels like 15 times to be able to beat them. A lot of the bosses I beat on the first go with them, and that to me is just right. It took me about 5 hours to beat, which felt just about perfect. And the other one that I wanted to bring up was mobile game, and I'll be very brief, but Monument Valley 2 is absolutely beautiful. It is the best $4.99 you can spend on iOS, I think. It's gorgeous, it's super clever, and it is just the best mobile game I think I've played so far. I think I like it better than Lara Croft Go. It's just terrific. Have you tried it yet, CJ?
I have not tried it, but I'm sure I will soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's saving it for the plane ride to E3.
Yeah. Oh, and I did learn.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry,
go ahead, Ethan. Oh, okay.
I was just
go ahead. You go ahead.
I was going to say, the last little bit is I also learned the hard way in the super fun Friday the 13th, which CJ, thank you for the recommendation.
So good.
You cannot just wait out the clock by hiding under the bed.
No, you cannot.
I did that, and I got the spear through the bed, pinning me to the ground.
Yeah.
And it
Jason
was actually
has powers to tell which building you're in. Like,
yes.
He won't know exactly where you are, but then also based on which counselor you have chosen, they may start making noise underneath the bed and like going, "Oh God, don't look under this bed."
And
that's awesome.
And good Jasons
under here but us blankets.
Good Jasons can be devious. I was watching a guy who was very good at Jason, and there was one counselor left, and so we were watching the chase, but there was like 4 minutes left on the clock, and he kept catching her and choking her and letting her go. Just teasing her. Yeah, teasing her until the last 30 seconds where he got her. It was really, really interesting. So you got to play that game if you have any affection for that movie series at all. It's as good as CJ says. So
nice.
So pardon me for being packed with hyperbole again, but a lot of good stuff this week.
Well, that's what I was going to say earlier, is that we are at the 2-game count this week for games Ethan has described as the best something.
But it's,
you know what though, 2017 is a really freaking good year for games, right? I mean, I think we can all agree on that. There's just so much good stuff on every single platform. It's crazy. Like, my backlog is insane, and I end up going back to Overwatch and Friday the 13th. But yeah. Nice. How about we do some tweets and then log off?
Sure.
Let's do it. Tweet. Sound good?
Tweet.
All right, let's do this one from Hackeralius Gaming Tweets 64, who says, which is more likely, a new 2D Metroid or a new 3D Metroid, and which would you be more excited for?
3D.
3D and more excited for 2D.
That's a great answer. I'd second that.
3D is most likely.
Yeah, I'll third that.
2D is what would get me more excited.
I think it'll be 3D if it's anything, and I think I'll be equally as excited with either. Because if 3D means like Metroid Prime, sign me up. Yeah, I could play that all day, every day.
Not to say that Metroid Prime was not a great game, because Metroid Prime is a great game.
Because remember, 2D could also mean Other M. So.
Yeah, well, I hope it's Team Ninja, and I hope that it's like Metroid Extreme Beach Volleyball.
I hate you.
Come on. Metroid Extreme Beach Volleyball. That's what we want.
No, that isn't. It isn't.
Oh, Mother Brain in a bikini doing that little butt bump game. Yeah.
It's the stuff dreams are
made of. Sign me up.
All right. Hackeralius Carlitos Way 1999 says, how likely is the $399 Scorpio price rumor? Of course, this is going to be very timely once this podcast is released.
Right. Yeah, really.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm guessing $599. I don't think it's going to be $399. I think it's going to be a boutique product that is targeting a small audience, because it's going to be targeting the 4K audience the first year anyway.
Yeah, and that is kind of what they said. They wanted to create like a high-spec, really high-quality console. I mean, they've been doing Major Nelson videos on the dev kit. Like it strikes me that Microsoft is really proud of the hardware that they have put together with Scorpio. I mean, you have Major Nelson and other Xbox executives walking around with the little like chipset in their pockets. Like, they are
so weird,
very excited about this hardware. And I think they're not cheaping out. $399, considering that apparently Microsoft has lowered the price of the One S to $199, which I don't know if that's a permanent thing or whether that's one of these sort of promotional things. But if they're going to go that route, where they have, the system at $199, then they could potentially do, okay, here's the high spec version for $200 more. I could see that. But we'll find out tomorrow.
Yep.
Or while you're already listening to
Or
this podcast.
yesterday.
Yeah, you
Or-
already know.
A few
Well, and
days
it's-
ago.
It also can set up another subtle shift. Do you remember in the editorial days when people could choose a game that was sent by the companies, and if you could choose either the PS2 game or the original Xbox game, you always chose the original Xbox game because it looked a little bit better. Now I think that we're going to see Microsoft get that same kind of advantage where if you do have the hardware with any third-party game, if you have a 4K TV and a Scorpio, that's going to be the one to get every single time.
Yeah, could be. Hacker alias Vongaruitz or Vongaru TZ or whatever you want to make of this says thoughts on the new At Games Sega Genesis announcement.
It's at games. Who cares?
Yeah,
It's
really.
At Game. Who cares? Exactly.
I love everything about it until I hear that that's who's making it. And it's like it's
Yeah,
gonna
seriously.
It's like, all right, wireless Bluetooth controllers, and it's got like 80 games, and it's
take
HD.
cartridges. Going to take cartridges too.
Takes
But
cartridges.
Curious to see how many of them are actually compatible.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for the record, CJ,
Uh-huh.
that hacker alias is pronounced I am Groot.
Oh, right.
So
It is nice at least that it will take wired controllers though, because I've heard that the wireless controllers are total crap in terms of functionality.
Yeah.
yes.
Let's like say
Yeah.
everything about it. The feature set is wonderful, for sure.
Well, and here's the thing with any of these retro consoles that are announced, it's still like there's TV lag, there's input lag, right? I mean,
Yeah, but
it's
that's not honestly. It's not as bad as all that. I mean, I play a lot of retro consoles on my new TV, and yeah, there's some lag there, but it's not. It doesn't make things unplayable.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe Mike Tyson is tough.
Yeah, certain games are tough, but
Mike Tyson.
in general-
Punch Out was definitely difficult. All right. Hacker alias. Let's wrap up with this one. Hacker alias Daniel Agrilius says one of the very best games I played on current gen is Alien Isolation. What do
Yay.
you guys think of it, and will we ever see a sequel? It is a fantastic game.
it is so good.
You will never see a sequel.
I'm guessing it cost a lot of money and didn't sell very well, unfortunately.
Yeah. It was a great game. Creative Assembly was given a chance to do something totally different, and those guys are ultra talented. And I think that the results were terrific, but I do not think you will ever see a sequel.
Yeah, this question, I mean, it could be asked of games like The Order or what's that horror game that now I'm not remembering the name
Friday
of?
the
Until
13th.
Dawn?
No, Until Dawn.
Until Dawn? Yeah.
Where you have games that are really fantastic concepts and really fantastic games that didn't sell at $60 and are often discounted heavily now, but you're just never going to see a sequel to those games, no matter how fantastic they are, and no matter how large an audience they may pick up at $10 or $19 or like whatever the discount's going to be, just because they didn't do anything at full price.
Now, one thing that I think could be possible, just because they did a demo of the technology at E3 a couple years back, I could see them doing a remake of Alien Isolation for VR.
That'd be cool.
Because, like, they showed at E3 the whole thing with a chest burster, and it was terrifying. And that would be fantastic as a game to bring over. It's the right pace, and it's easily as scary as Resident Evil 7. So.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we'll see some of that this year? Where, I mean, they've already said Fallout 4 is coming to VR, but
Yep.
do you think we'll see other games have VR play, and not just like, oh, this is a separate VR mode, but you can play the whole game in VR?
Well, I think this is the big open question. I honestly have no idea, but I think that Sony is the booth to watch, because Microsoft has already said they're not going to show anything VR this time around. Nintendo obviously won't either, and I don't think you're going to get much of a presence for Oculus Oculus said that they're not going to the show. Vive is going to be very quiet, I think. So if Sony has a bunch of really great stuff, that's very promising. If they show it the way they showed the Vita in the last year that it was supported, that's going to tell you a lot too.
Okay. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitter, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward.
Eventually.
Yeah, and Generation 16 episodes as well.
Yep, made some more progress on that this week.
Pretty cool. You'll find show notes that have links to the things that we talked about, including a link to more information on ScoopFest 17 in Las Vegas, September 22nd through the 24th. You'll also find a message board where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the iTunes Music Store. While you're at the iTunes Music Store, you can also invest $1.99
cheap
to pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. It gives you one-touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, the what have you. You also have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android cell phone, telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
There we go. You can find that right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. You can like us on Stitcher. You can Discord us.
Discord.
Right?
Yeah.
Discord us. Is there
the link is in our Twitter profile, so check that out.
Go to our Twitter profile.
Talk to us about E3 and all that fun stuff with us and our other listeners.
Yes. And you can check out archives of our show and watch us live most weeks on the youtube.com/P1 podcast. And if you've liked what you've heard and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. It's gonna go right into CJ's coffers for when we get to Scoop Fest.
More of this.
It's gonna be in Vegas. And if there's
I'm
one
rolling
thing,
these DVDs, these Dungeons
if there's
and
one thing
Dragons.
CJ loves, it's those penny slots.
No.
Get.
No.
So give early, give often. And if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com where you'll find a link to the Patreon to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thanks.
It's good stuff. CJ.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Phil.
Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil.
Ethan.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Warm cuddles to you, buddy.
Thank you, spank you. And of course, super extra special thanks to our special guests from earlier in the show, Paul Mattingly, Matt Donnelly, and Jacob, the audio guy, from the outstanding and hilarious Matt Mattingly's Ice Cream Social podcast. Check them out if you don't already. HeyScoops.com. And we'll be joining them this September for Scoop Fest.
It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be great. Cannot wait.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, folks. Next week.
We'll talk about it the rest of E3.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah.
More E3 next week. Some actual informed talk about E3 next week.
That's right.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
we'll have some
informed.
We'll have some warm takes at that point.
There you go.
Yeah.
Warm takes. There you go. Yeah.
lukewarm takes.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.